Hey, punk rocker. Since you are here with me on our side of the threadbare velvet ropes that separates our little scene from the rest of the algorithm, then you already know that I am an LA Gothic Neo-Noir hard-boiled punk rock indie author. But today, let's put some context on me, specifically where the Gothic in my LA Gothic comes from. And that story begins almost 2 centuries ago. 185 years ago, April 20th, 1841, Monsieur C. Auguste Dupin solved the mystery of the murders in the Rue Morgue, when arguably the very first detective story was published by Edgar Allen Poe. Fictional detectives almost immediately moved across the pond and spent a bunch of time over there solving genteel crimes in drawing rooms and stately manners. Finally, they really started to kick ass when they moved back to the States about 80 years later, when the pulp authors took up the case, given the marching orders that their stories must be lascivious and violent, and yet must adhere to the censorship of their day, and at the same time they were being paid by the word, creating a perfect engine for the extended metaphors and reinvented colloquial language that they used in order to convey the more seemly side of crime. About 100 years after that, I came along. The very first audiobook style narration that I ever did was the complete poems of Edgar Allen Poe, which I recorded onto several cassette tapes as a birthday present for my dad. There is no doubt that Raymond Chandler set the tone for my hard-boiled neo-noir fiction. But it was Poe that put the Gothic in my LA Gothic and put the pathos in my punk rock detective. In fact, a couple years ago for my birthday, my dad gifted me this framed AI rendering of Edgar Allen Poe himself. Do not come after my 85-year-old dad for his use of AI. He has no idea. Anyway, I haven't put this up yet, but I do have a cunning plan for what I'm going to do with it. In any case, thank you, Edgar Allan Poe, for inventing my genre and for propelling me to where I'm at right now. Someday we'll talk about where the punk rock in my punk rock fiction comes from, and that involves an intervention. In the meantime, go read some Poe.